ready to go here at the Summit. Tamari Key to jump center against Madison Bartley. Tennessee controls the opening tip. We're underway here in Knoxville. Inside with the left hand, won't drop, and a rebound pulled down by Conley Chin. As we take a look at the starting lineup for Belmont, brought to you by Capital One, the same starting five for each game this season. Tootie Jones, the Defensive Player of the Year in the OVC, 22 points in the win over Oregon. Destiny Wells is the leading scorer. Here is Wells, defended by Jordan Walker.
Well, this is the matchup I want to see right here. The battle of the guard, taking it at each other.
Tennessee starting lineup features Walker at the point. Alexis Dye's been on a good run. 3 straight double-doubles in the postseason. She has it in the post and has the first points of the game for Tennessee.
And I think that's going to be something that this Tennessee Lady Vol team is going to be looking for. Of course, you want Tamari Key down low, but like you said, Eric, Alexis Dye has been dominating down low, double-double, and Bartley gets on the board first, the first 3 for Belmont.
Bartley is the big for Belmont at 6'3", but they all can shoot the 3, and Tennessee comes right back with an answer inside.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tennessee guards. All 5 players on the floor right now can knock down the 3, and you gotta respect them when they're out there, 1 through 5.
Breakdown defensively for Tennessee. Belmont has to have those easy looks if they get them here tonight. Dye is short, 1 and done, and the rebound for Belmont. Wells at 5'6" was stopped by the 6'6" Key and thought better of it and brought it back out.
Well, you look at where Bartley is playing. She is forcing Key to have to play on the outside.
Ray Burrell gets called for the foul. Bart Brooks in his 5th year as Belmont's head coach, the OVC Coach of the Year for a second time as an assistant to Doug Bruno at DePaul for 11 seasons before taking over this Belmont program. He loves the phrase mid-major because he thinks it's a good motivator for kids, but there's a lot of talk, and we've seen with these double-digit seeds winning, it's double-digit just because they've got to put a number in front of your score. This has a feeling of a team that belongs. They're not a Power 5, they're not a major program, but the way they play and how consistent they've been, and they've won in the NCAA tournament now back-to-back years, yeah, they belong here.
Well, I think when you look at the tournament, especially this year, I said it earlier, we've been through 2 years of COVID. We've been through the transfer portal. We finally get into a team, into a space where players and teams are figuring out how to play. You look at this Belmont team, they have the same team they had last year. So I think that really makes a big difference.
Good play for Tennessee. They had Dye on the back door, but she couldn't finish and she missed the follow. Tootie Wells out to Destiny Wells from Tootie Jones rather, and a rebound for Tennessee. Here's Walker.
There's not going to be a lot of opportunity, wide open opportunity that Belmont is not going to take advantage of.
Belmont is an outstanding defensive team. Very active, great help defensively. It's going to take the whole team here today as Tennessee goes back in front.
Well, I think this is going to be a back and forth game, Eric, and I don't know about you. I'm excited about this matchup. Excited about what both teams bring to the table. I mean, we've been in practice yesterday, shoot around today. Excited about this game, and just, I mean, anybody can win.
The only problem today was you wanted the game to start about 10 a.m. It was tough to keep you in check to 7 p.m. Eastern time, but well done to keep your energy level up throughout. That one's going to be off the mark, and it's a rebound for Dias. Tamika mentioned at the top of the show, Tennessee's an outstanding rebounding team. They are a plus 13 in rebounding margin, 4th in the country. And here is Key with her size down low, but that won't drop.
Well, Key, same thing she did the other game against Buffalo. Instead of taking her time and going on that one-on-one matchup, take your time and make it. And Chin off the backboard, Conley Chin.
Conley Chin, 5th-year senior captain for this team, playing in game number 120, her 5th NCAA game, and she has liked the bank shot here in this building. Burrell. There's Walker. That won't drop. And Bartley doing a good job of getting the rebound. One of the concerns was keeping Tennessee off the offensive glass. And so far, been a good job by Belmont. Just one offensive rebound for the Lady Vols.
Well, Belmont's doing a good job. They're keeping Tennessee on their heels, even on the offensive end. Shots that they should be making, they're not able to make and not able to convert.
Now we've seen a couple of wide open baskets not drop for the Bruins. There's Ray Burrell, who drains it for three.
Well, that's a good sign if you're a Lady Vol fan right there. Ray Burrell gets that shot up and in, and she struggled the other night in the first half, came through in the second half, but to have her going, that's definitely something they need.
Had 19 points against the Bulls, but as Tamika mentioned, 15 in the second half. Trading threes here at TBA.
Well, it's raining threes right here over at the Summit, and you gotta love it when you see the threes, especially off the glass right there. But you got one, you got the other. Ray Burrell with the finish. Tennessee up 9-7.
Big part of that championship team, of course. Pretty even out of the first media timeout. It's Belmont possession. Wells ducks under and a blocked shot. No reset of the shot clock, two to shoot. Open look for Tootie Jones, won't drop, and it's a rebound for Sarah Puckett into the game for Tennessee.
Well, last game, Tamari Key did not get a block. This is her first block.
Blair Schoenwald is into the game. Knocked away. That's the first turnover for either team. And here is Destiny Wells, a sophomore from Lakeland, Tennessee, which is near Memphis. And Destiny Wells drops in her first field goal. The MVP of the OVC tournament for the second time. Did it as a freshman and again this year as Belmont was the first team to punch their ticket for the tournament with a win over Tennessee Tech. Bruins get another stop.
Belmont's doing a great job of controlling the boards right here. You said it's kind of even, and Destiny Wells will take another look at the shot attempt.
Jones will turn. Second chance opportunity missed by Belmont. Now Bart Brooks, you know they're going to be looking at these intervals, these media timeouts every 5 minutes. Where are we in rebounding in relation to Tennessee? Here's Tamari Key. No. Put back. No. Put back. Yes, this time by Sarah Puckett.
Well, this is the same issue that Tamari Key had against Buffalo, going a little bit too fast, and second half she was able to slow herself down, but that's something that they need. She's getting a lot of easy buckets. She's got to be able to convert.
Wells rattles it in. Wells had 16 points, 7 assists, just one turnover in that double overtime victory against Oregon.
Wells making it look so easy too. Ray Burrell bringing it back.
Now challenged on that shot, couldn't get at the drop. And here comes Belmont. Walker, an outstanding defender, gets cleared out by an illegal screen. She was hit hard by Tessa Miller. The freshman picks up her first personal foul. Well, you know the Tennessee story. Jordan Horston is their leading scorer, their leading rebounder, leading the team in assists, leading the team in steals, but she is a cheerleader here in the NCAA tournament. She has an injury, a fractured dislocation of her left elbow. This is the 7th game that she's missing first-team all-conference selection. Again, she is not practicing. She's been getting shots up. And according to Kelly Harper, Tennessee would probably have to make a deep run in the tournament for her to have a chance to play in the tournament. Tess Darby knocks down a triple.
Well, Jordan Horston has definitely been a vital part for this team, but when one player goes out, other players have to step up, and you see Tess Darby knocking down that three. Other players have had to step up, and that's what's been the success for Tennessee.
Brooklyn Miles, freshman into the game, gets called for the foul. Very quick, very good on-ball defender. Caroline Striplin also in the game. Jamilyn Kinney will come back in for Belmont. She's one of the seniors for this Belmont team, along with Conley Chin. And a little stoppage here because They want to mop up a little perspiration from the floor.
Well, Belmont has 9 players available to play, and we will see quite a bit of a rotation tonight, just from the simple fact, coming off the double overtime game the other day, players getting in and out. You almost look at the rotation that they're going to have today just to keep players energized on the floor.
Well, that game was Saturday against Oregon. Yesterday was a day off, but Belmont did practice here at Thompson Bowling Arena, and they did take their morning shoot-around today. There's Kinney. Kinney kicks it to the corner to Nikki Baird. Shot clock's down to 5. Feed inside to Bartley, who ducks under.
Well, you see more of an emphasis to try to get the ball down low, especially with Tamari Key out of the game right now.
Kaya Wynn, freshman into the game. She'll put it up. That won't drop. And Bartley rips it away from Striplin. Key and Dye on the bench right now for Tennessee. There's Bartley on the drive. Miles with the rebound.
A lot of missed shots right now. You got to wonder if it's from being tired or what is the case.
Oh!
Miles all the way to the basket.
Well, we told you she was quick. She kicked it into 5th gear pretty quickly on this drive.
And I love it. Check it out right here. Tootie Jones is the defensive player of the year, but Brooklyn Miles, the 2nd gear, 5th gear, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, right all the way up.
You saying she jumped from 2nd to 5th?
I
that's
think
usually
she
a little
sure did.
tough.
I mean, that was at the top of the key. She got fouled at the basket. Able to convert.
Tennessee has stretched it out to a 6-point lead with a minute to go in the first quarter. 6 straight points for the Lady Vols.
Madison Wells is back in the game. Destiny Wells, excuse me.
And she turns around and scores. You know, when we were talking about this game and you think about the size advantage, big size advantage that Tennessee has over Belmont, but you really thought this was going to be decided completely by the guards, especially for Tennessee holding their own against Belmont.
Well, you see right now, Tamari Key and Alexis Dye on the bench, and the energy, just even the quickness, the speed of the game had picked up since they both went to the floor. And I think from Belmont's standpoint, they tried to get the ball more inside the paint, trying to create opportunity while those two are out.
On the turnaround, it's good from Sarah Puckett. 4 points for the freshman off the bench, averaging 6.5 points a game, all freshman team in the SEC.
Destiny Wells, when she had the ball in her hand, to just a comfort level that you see this team have. They're going to hold it for the last shot of the quarter.
Shot clock is off. Here is Wells with the kick to the corner. Baird doesn't get the roll. Kaya Wynn picks it up with time across half court. Wynn! That's the end of the first quarter, but especially with Burrell and Key and Dye on the bench. Reserves doing a great job for Tennessee, putting the Lady Vols on top. Go over 2-seed Baylor by 14. South Dakota has not trailed in their 2 wins in the NCAA tournament. They're going to their first Sweet 16 as well. Can Belmont join that crew trying to make it to the Sweet 16 for the first time? They're a 12 seed, and there's Miles with that quickness again, and then answered back nicely by Jamelyn Kinney for Belmont to knock it out of play.
Well, it's interesting. You look at that play, you got Tennessee coming back with Tamari Key and Alexis Dye back in the game. Belmont still able to get an offensive rebound. They got lucky. Tennessee got lucky, and Tamari Key finishing at the basket, slowed down a little bit more and able to get that basket in.
Key, Burrell, and Dye all back into the game for Tennessee, but that bench did an excellent job. 7 bench points already for Tennessee here in this game. Kinney to Bartley, tries to take it inside on Key.
I think for that play to work, Belmont has to pull Tamari Key out a little bit further. And let's take a look at this last out-of-bounds play right here. You see right there, looked like a little thin, but honestly, that was a direct pass to Mari Key. Belmont got switched off on the wrong defensive scheme. He was able to get wide open.
Foul is called on Nikki Baird. Belmont protesting that call for Baird, her first. Burrell. Bartley battling Key. It's Tootie Jones who comes away for Belmont.
Another one of the smaller people on the floor.
Baird, corner three. Belmont so far 2 for 8 from outside the three-point line. Burrell rips away an offensive rebound. Ray Burrell, silky jump shot won't drop. And a foul's called on Tamari Key.
Bartley is going to hold her ground down low, and she had to go against Sabally on Saturday, so being able to go against her and then have another taller player that she had to go against today.
Sophomore from Kettering, Ohio, first team all-conference, all-tournament team this year. Last year she had 9 points in the game-clinching three-point play to close out Gonzaga in that round one upset for Belmont. So Belmont with upsets in back-to-back years, and so many of these players playing a key role in that win last year and trying to get 2 wins in this year's tournament. First foul on Key as she heads to the bench. Kick to Kinney. They've had open looks, and this one goes down.
And that's a wide open look. It looks like on the backside, everybody's eyes were focused on the on-ball screen, and you kind of lost focus of your own players.
Entry pass off the hands of Sarah Puckett. A little sloppy for Tennessee. They have had trouble taking care of the basketball this year.
Let's take a look right here. 4 players on the ball, nobody out, and you cannot leave Kinney for a wide open three. She will knock that down.
Second turnover for Tennessee, but we've talked about their turnover woes. They were last in the SEC in turnover margin this year. They give it up about 17 times a game. Good catch by Kinney. Good fake to get open, but that three won't drop. And here's Brooklyn Miles. Tootie Jones is back, excellent defender. And the putback for Dye.
That's what Tennessee does well. They get on the offensive rebounds. Alexis Dye, great job following the play. Nobody there to box her out.
6 offensive rebounds now, leading to 6 second chance points. Burrell knocks it away. Miles to Burrell. Walker hauls it in. Tennessee will reset. Burrell, good feed. And the finish from Puckett. Chance for a three-point play.
What a move right there. Ray Burrell comes out, not able to knock down the first three. You give her another opportunity. She's taking it in. 2 players up. Great dish to Puckett with the finish.
First foul on Madison Bartley, who battled foul trouble in the game against Oregon. And here is the freshman from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, capping off the three-point play.
Well, it's interesting how different Tennessee plays. And when you look at this lineup, I mean, Belmont, the way they want to play, they want to move you side to side. They want you to help on the front side. They want the opportunity to shoot a three or get to the basket. You see Destiny Wells right here. Bartley posting up, and a turnover by Belmont.
Puckett had a hand in there. Walker on the drive. Tough shot. Good finish. Timeout, Belmont.
What can you say? Tennessee has figured out a way to light it up. Their defense is taking them and leading into their offense. And Jordan Walker right here, but this is the way that Tennessee wants to play, up and down in transition.
All right, Al, thanks so much. As a result, Belmont 3 of 10 from outside the three-point line so far as we update what's happened in the Wichita region. Louisville makes it to another Sweet 16 under Jeff Walls. They had the victory last night, and we talked about South Dakota knocking off Baylor. First time Baylor had ever lost to a double-digit seed in the tournament. South Dakota, a 10 seed. Moving on. Out of the timeout, much needed basket. That ends a 7-0 run, and that 7-0 run happened quickly. It was in a span of 54 seconds for Tennessee. Kinney with a big hoop.
Well, I think that's important for Belmont. While you have Tamari Key on the bench, attack the paint, try to get some easy looks down low, or now you have your three-point shooters spaced out. And as Rebecca said, they need clean looks at the basket. Tennessee, because of their length and their size, not allowing Belmont to get those looks.
Key is not in foul trouble. She has just one foul as nice little fake by Wells comes up short. A second chance here for Belmont. But you thought that maybe Tennessee would go with a little bit of a quicker lineup and not play Key as much in this game. Why is that?
Well, I think the biggest reason is what you see right here. You've got versatility, you got athleticism. Not that Tamari Key is not, but when she's in the game, Belmont is trying to move her away from the basket. It's hard for her to defend on the outside. When you got this lineup right here, you have more versatility. People can move, you can switch. You can switch the 1 to the 4. There's a lot of different lineups you can have.
And a foul is going to be called on Kinney for Belmont. That'll be her first. I mean, everything pointing Tennessee's way right now. Out of that last media timeout, points in the paint, 18-2 edge for Tennessee. Second chance points, 9-0 edge. Bench points, 10-0 for Tennessee. Dye lost it out of bounds. A turnover for Tennessee. That is their third. It will get us to a timeout with 4:56 to go. Second quarter, 10-point game in Knoxville. UCF, that's after us here on ESPN. So it's just great to have the energy in these buildings. And who's going on? One of these teams will go to the Sweet 16. Belmont, if they go, it'll be the first time ever. Tennessee trying to get there for the first time since 2016.
Well, you're right about the fans, and you could tell the energy, you could feel it, and that's even something Belmont says. Being close to home, they got 5 buses of students that have come out to the game to support them. So great fans on both sides.
5 buses made the trip from Nashville to Knoxville. They had a Provost's excuse day at Belmont, so that means you could get out of class to come attend the game. And we say hello again to everybody on the lawn out in Belmont. Great to have you with us watching outdoors in Nashville. There's Jones. Back out to Kinney. Kinney shut off. Tamari Key into the game.
Well, that's the big difference right there. When Tamari Key is inside, you see the drive to the basket, but you don't necessarily see the finishes.
Key with the box on the miss by Tessa Miller. Drop back to Dye.
That's a great look by Tyra Wynn. She could have went up and shot an out of control shot, but she saw 2 players down on Alexis Dye wide open.
3 straight double-doubles for Alexis Dye. Tamika talked about players filling the void left by Jordan Horston. Dye certainly has done that. Here's a foul called on Tootie Jones. Well, there's the view a little bit earlier from the Belmont campus in Nashville, the watch party on the lawn. Takes a nice day to spread out on the lawn. It was in Tennessee today, temps in the 70s. Although I sense the excitement is so high for Belmont. If there was some sleet and maybe some snow out in Nashville, they'd still be out there watching. They're dedicated. They're into it.
They would have taken it inside. I'd say it's probably a big pizza party going on.
That's part of the 5 busloads that Tamika mentioned. They were in here once those doors opened.
They got to get to Knoxville, a nice little meal at Calhoun's on the river, and came right over to the game. Does it get any better than that?
And in Knoxville, do as they do in Knoxville, how you did back in the day. Here's Kaya Wynn at the free throw line. Foul on Wells, her first. Wynn is someone who, according to Kelly Harper, has been playing with energy and confidence. Freshman from Richmond, Texas. Average 8 minutes a game during the season, but her average is up close to 12 minutes a game over the last 5.
Yeah, and one thing we failed to mention a couple fouls ago, Tootie Jones, that last foul on her is her second, so she's on the bench, and definitely a big part of this Belmont team. Defensive Player of the Year, a player that has to be on the floor for this team.
Through the hands of Chin, defended by Dye. Chin sticks with it. Wells, well, nothing has been easy. There's a great fight on the inside by freshman Kylan McGuff.
One thing you know about Belmont, they have no fear. They play with no fear. They go in there, they dive in there, they do whatever it takes to win, and that's the important part. That is why they are here in this tournament.
Key on the post up inside for 2.
You know, it's interesting, we talk about her on the defensive end, Tamari Key that is, but you have to figure out ways, with teams talk about ways to defend her because she is so tall and so big, trying to find ways to make it hard for her to score.
Wells, Tennessee, they were 18-1 at one point this season. They reached number 4 in the AP poll as this one's launched, and that's off. Nothing has come easy in this game, and the way that Tennessee's playing defense reminds me of those first 20 games of the season when they played lockdown defense, dominated on the glass.
Well, active, moving, talking to each other. One bad thing they haven't done is they have not rebounded, and Belmont finally made them pay. Madison Bartley able to knock down that 3.
So Bartley gets a look for 3. That's her second 3-pointer, makes it a 10-point game, closing it on the final minute, first half.
Well, Belmont right now leading the rebound battle. They offensively have 8 offensive rebounds.
Bartley on the way down was pushed by Dye. Correction, Wynn gets called for the personal foul.
Down low, when you got Tamari Key and you can see her numbers, you got to figure out a way to deliver, and when you deliver, she has to finish the shot. That last possession she did.
Two fouls on Tennessee as a team this quarter. Belmont's over the limit. Miles defending Wells. 1 minute to go, second quarter. Blair Schoenwald, good shooter, came up short, and Key's got the rebound.
He got the rebound and the guard release. He started smiling. I don't know if she's bringing it up on the transition there.
Alexis Dye inside, 8 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist for Dye. They have made Wells work for everything. She is 3 of 13 from the field, 0 for 4 from outside the 3-point line. Bartley will try another. This one won't drop.
Hustle plays, hustle plays, hustle plays. That is what Belmont does. Every single possession, they are going after the loose ball.
Possession arrow will give it to Tennessee. Substitution for Belmont as Kinney will come in and Schoenwald will check out. Walker back on for Tennessee. She'll bring it across half court. Down to 7. Down to 3. Down to 1. That will do it. As bodies go down, we're already down on the deck. Tennessee, excellent defensively, holding Belmont to 23 in the first half. 12-point lead for the Lady Vols. Let's go to the studio. Elle, Rebecca, and Nick.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Belmont has the first possession of the second half. They've got to get Tootie Jones going, and they get her a play right away, and she gets the roll. Jones was 0 for 3 from the field in the first half and did not attempt a three-pointer. First points of the game for their number 3 scorer on the season.
Well, I felt like Jones really didn't even look to shoot the ball. She was letting everybody else get some shot attempts, and Great drive right there. Jordan Walker taking it in.
4 points now for Jordan Walker to go along with 4 rebounds and 2 assists, 6 points for Walker.
You know, being able to play the ball inside the paint for Tennessee. Right now they have 26 out of their 37 points in the paint.
Well, give Bartley credit. She gets some points in the paint, taking it at Tamari Key. And a foul is called on Tennessee's Key. That will be number 2. We take you to the story of the score in this matchup. Shooting for Belmont, 27%. Points in the paint, big advantage for Tennessee. Much bigger team, and their biggest player, Tamari Key, at 6'6", has a couple of fouls now.
I think that was a frustration foul right there. Bartley came down, did a great job of taking Key one-on-one. Key gets a little frustrated and taking it right at him. Tootie Jones, great pass to Bartley.
Jones to Bartley. Bartley, the first player in this game into double figures. She has 10. Key inside, no. Bartley tipped it, but to die. Alexis Dye, the first lady vol into double figures. She's got 10.
Alexis Dye has been so steady the last couple games, even thinking about the SEC Conference Tournament. She has stepped up her game another notch. When Jordan Horston went out, other players had to step up, but I think Dye was one of the big ones that did.
Conley Chin didn't miss by much, didn't get the roll, and here is Walker back the other way for Tennessee. Largest lead for the Lady Vols, 13. Key showing some range.
All right, so Key banging down low, didn't want to go down. Saw Alexis Dye posting up, but Bartley hung down too and able to get that shot up.
Kinney to Chin again, no. Walker, another push off of another miss. Walker all the way, blocking foul is called, which will send Walker to the free throw line. Good work by Belmont a couple of possessions ago.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it right here. And like Tootie Jones pulls Tamari Key up. Ray Burrell does not get below Bartley, and great finish at the basket.
Chin picks up her first personal foul. And here is Jordan Walker.
Now we saw Conley Chin take a couple of charges in the game against Oregon, always sacrificing her body.
Walker comes up empty at the free throw line. Chin with the rebound.
And it's interesting, you think about just the free throws in general. 8 free throws between both teams. Belmont 1 for 2. Tennessee struggling. You just saw that, 3 for 6 from the free throw line.
Tootie Jones in the scramble tried to roll it to a teammate, but it rolled out of bounds, and it will be Tennessee basketball. Good balance for Tennessee. 8 of the 9 Tennessee players that played in the first half scored. Dye, strong take for 2.
Makes it look so easy, her athleticism, and I really think over the course of the last couple of games, she's gotten more confident in being able to score.
Chin passes up the 3 for a 2.
That's a smart play by Conley Chin. Last couple possessions, she had to settle for the 3, not settle. She had 3-point looks, wasn't able to fall.
Key is fouled by Bartley, and that will be the second personal foul on Madison Bartley. Chin will check out of the game for Belmont as Nikki Baird comes in. More substitutions getting set to check in for Belmont as well. Blair Schoenwald is into the game. Tessa Miller into the game. And Tamari Key stands at the free throw line. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Sweet 16 begins Thursday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on CBS and TBS. For more information on game times and networks, go to NCAA.com. Arkansas and Gonzaga will get things started on Thursday. Here's Sarah Puckett, who was very good in the first half for Tennessee, off the bench for the Lady Vols as Alexis Dye will head out.
Thinking about points off the bench for Tennessee, Sarah Puckett had 7 out of the 11 bench points for Tennessee, so definitely a player stepping up and doing some great things.
Baird got caught in deep. Second chance here, though, for Belmont.
You know, one of the things you appreciate about Belmont, they took a shot, all the players crashed the board, they end up with the offensive rebound. Now, talk to Coach Brooks, he talks about the deep rebounding being an area. He's like, look, we don't have to win the board all the time because of the team that we have, but we find other ways to win. Being scrappy, being gritty, all out, they are not going to give up. They're going to play for 40 minutes and they're going to play hard.
They were minus 11 in rebounding margin against Oregon and gave up 17 offensive rebounds, but it led to just 14 points. Belmont can live with that, and as you saw, they're hanging around on the glass here today. A minus 8 on the drive, and 1.
You knew it was coming, and you knew Tootie Jones was going to find a way to get to the basket, to get past the first line of defense right here. Nice little screen. Ray Burrell gets hung up on the screen. And Tamari Key comes over, swipe down. Anytime you swipe down, that's going to be a foul. That is the 3rd foul on Tamari Key.
So Key with 3. She heads to the bench. She has 9 points and 4 rebounds. And Tootie Jones finishes the 3-point play. Jones went for 22 on 8 of 11 shooting and was 4 for 4 from outside the 3-point line against Oregon. That's Tessa Miller getting called for the foul, her second.
Nice little hesitation right there from Ray Burrell.
Tennessee's largest lead was 14 here in the third quarter. 10-point game. Inside of 6 to go in the third. Burrell's had a quiet game offensively. Just 1 3-pointer. That one won't drop.
Yeah, I think the same thing. She did that in the game against Buffalo. Started settling for some of the outside shots, and I think she can get 1 or 2 dribble pull-up.
On the drive, and a foul is going to be called on Sarah Puckett for Tennessee. That's her first. Kelly Harper knows all about motivated mid-major teams. Her last year at Missouri State, 2019, they were a number 11 seed. They upset 24th ranked DePaul and 13th ranked Iowa State, which was a 3 seed. So she knows about the Belmont narrative as a number 12 seed trying to pull off the upset here in Knoxville. Dye with the rebound for Tennessee. Darby, no, into the hands of Wells.
And this is where Belmont wants to do. They want to get up and down. They want that transition game. They want to see if they can find open players. Tennessee a great job of getting back on defense.
Wells, an open look. First points of the second half for Destiny Wells. A 7-1 run now for Belmont.
Belmont went to a little bit of a zone look.
Burrell was looking for the call, didn't get it. She's 1 for 7 from the floor, and here comes Jones. Jones for 3, no. Baird was off the mark. Jones has it again.
And the place goes crazy.
Jones with the steal, and now they'll go crazier.
Tennessee. And Belmont figuring out a way to turn the tide. Not only Tootie Jones with the shot, but the steal, the finish. Down by 4.
In the Wichita region, and they are on a run right now. A 9-0 run, forcing a Tennessee timeout. They were down by 14, but now it's a 4-point game. Brooklyn Miles back into the game with Kaya Wynn. Remember, the bench was very good for Tennessee in the first half.
So Belmont is crowding up the paint right now. You see the zone.
Guy with the dish. Good strong take by Kaya Wynn for two.
And Tennessee needed that basket right there. It was a tough shot. Kaya Wynn had to go in against two players.
And through the hands of McGuff, and an unforced error for Belmont. That will get us to a timeout with 3:13 to go in the third quarter in a 6-point game. Belmont's #1 fan is here. That's Betty Wiseman. She started the women's program in 1968, coached the team through 1984. She could not be there in person for Belmont's first ever NCAA tournament win in San Antonio last year. She was in person Saturday, and she is into this game, Catch, as Belmont is pushing back.
And I love it. I say Betty Wiseman. She become my new best friend, and of course you see Betty with Pat right there, so definitely a lot of history in the building.
Of course, she had a lot of great things to say about Pat Summitt, and she's gotten over the fact that Pat Summitt did not go to Belmont. She was recruited, Pat was, to Belmont, but of course Pat ended up going to UT Martin. The Belmont basketball. Betty, when she started that program, it was AAU. Remember, 1968, 4 years before Title IX. And then eventually built it up, and everyone at Belmont tells us that she not only is, well, the matriarch, of course, of this Belmont women's program, because she started it, but for every program on the Belmont campus, she is the #1 fan. It's great to have her here in Knoxville.
Well, she has so much energy, and we had a great time just hanging out with her the last couple of days. Hearing some stories, and the story that she wants to hear right now, Tootie Jones for three. What a turnaround by Belmont. They've come out and have figured out ways. They started going inside, making baskets on the inside, then they moved on the outside, looking for a steal.
Tipped out of play by Baird, but you can just see how the energy level and the intensity has ramped up for Belmont after falling behind by 14. They have closed it to a 3-point game for Bart Brooks.
Well, at the end of the day, Belmont came out, and this is something that Coach Brooks talked about. They came out, they don't have any pressure on them. All they have to do is come out, and they have to play hard. They have to play. We know they're going to play hard for 40 minutes, so there's no room to relax if you're on the Tennessee Lady Vols team.
Good defense by Bartley. Belmont has outscored Tennessee 20-11 in this third quarter. Bartley back for Wells. Wells comes up short, but another rebound for Belmont for the tie. Wells tracks this one down. Belmont is getting it done on the glass in the second half against Tennessee, Catch.
Well, you would think that Tennessee would be able to box out this team, but Belmont, when they shoot, they keep moving. And it's hard to box out moving targets.
And Belmont is just winning all the 50-50 battles right now. Wells scoops it in. And a chance to tie it.
So Belmont has come back, down by 14, like you said, Eric. They have come back and continue to keep fighting on the boards. That hustle play are what win basketball games. We all know that. You've got to hustle. Hustle is all about heart, and when you have the heart of a lion, you will take it in against anybody. No fear, no pressure, no fear.
Pressure, no fear, no sleeves, whatever it takes here today to root on Belmont. Wells ties it. A 17-3 burst by Belmont. They've gone from 14 down to even at 46. Final minute, third quarter. Tamari Key back into the game. It's off her hand, into the hands of Belmont. Here come the Bruins trying to go in front with a three.
That might have been a little bit too quick, and Ray Burrell almost gets the ball taken away from him.
Miles just barely gets it across half court. That one's through the hands of Key. Well, for all the control that Tennessee had, how they were controlling the pace, the intensity level, how they were dictating things on defense, they are disrupted right now by the disruptors from Belmont.
Well, that's what we always talked about the three-point shooting for Belmont, but we kind of brushed over the fact that this is a very good defensive team too. We talked to Coach Brooks about his defensive style, what's important. You see it right here, right now. Tennessee's throwing the ball all over the place. Belmont's energy has risen up to another level on the offensive end, but defensively they have made it really, really hard for Tennessee to get a flow.
Bunch of substitutions here for both teams, trying to buy a little rest for some key players like Destiny Wells, who checks out for Belmont. Shot clock and game clock just about 3 seconds off, as Walker will hold for one. Sarah Puckett. Big hoop for Sarah Puckett. She's got 9. Belmont with a heave. Caught the backboard and the iron, and that does it. But that quarter belonged to Belmont. It's a 2-point Tennessee lead as we head to the fourth.
2 halves thus far. Belmont taking it in and taking a little bit of Tennessee's own medicine.
Fourth quarter is underway in Knoxville. The winner moves on to Wichita and the Sweet 16 to take on Louisville. And an early whistle on the first possession, just 10 seconds in, and a foul is called on Tessa Miller.
Well, we just said it, get the ball down low, and you can see a conscious effort to try to get the ball to Tamari Key down low in the paint.
McGuff getting a hand in there to knock it out of play. Well, Kylan's dad is busy right now. Kevin, the head coach of Ohio State, they're taking on LSU in Baton Rouge right now, so hopefully he got to watch a little of this game beforehand. I'm
sure
he's going to get caught up, yeah. Burrell has been struggling. 0 for her last 7 from the field, but a second chance here for Tennessee. They tried to throw it off of Schoenwald, couldn't do it, and now a tie-up. Possession arrow will give it to Belmont.
I just love the way Belmont plays. I mean, they hustle after every single loose ball.
Belmont has never been to the Sweet 16. They beat Gonzaga in the first round last year of the NCAA tournament before falling to Indiana in round 2. They knocked off Oregon in double overtime here in Knoxville on Saturday. It's been a while for Tennessee. They've gone 35 times, but they have not gone to the Sweet 16 in 6 years. Kinney launches for 3. Couldn't get it. Puckett with a rebound.
Puckett threw the ball to Tamari Key, and everybody, you heard the breath go out of the gym.
Burrell on a pull-up. That ends the cold string for Ray Burrell. First points of the second half. She's got 5. Wells defended by Burrell. Miller sets a screen. That opens things up, but an illegal screen is called on Belmont's Miller.
And Tessa Miller came into the screen trying to set a good one. She leaned into it right there, and also with the release.
That's her 4th personal foul. So the freshman from Crossville, Tennessee, who played at Stone Memorial High School, about 70 miles from Knoxville, one of 4 Tennessee natives on this Belmont roster, playing here at Thompson Bowling Arena. Here's Key. Back out to Walker for 3. That's Darby inside on the offensive rebound, and blocked out of bounds by Belmont. Tennessee ball.
Yeah, Bartley got her hands on that. Nice clean block.
Bucket has 9 for Tennessee. Dye leading the way with 12. Key backs in on Bartley. They find her and she finishes.
Nice little finish with the left hand. I think the best way for Tamari Key, when she doesn't have to take a dribble and all she has to do is turn off of either shoulder, and then she comes down, a nice little block.
That is her second block of the game, number 275 for her career, tying Candace Parker's all-time record at Tennessee. Belmont comes back with a 3. Destiny Wells knocks it down. Key inside, and Bartley gets called for the foul. Tamari Key now with 2 blocks tonight, 275 in 89 games played, tying Candace Parker's all-time mark.
And what a cool feat. I mean, look at how many games it took for her to get it, 89 games, and just continue to get in there. I think one of the things that we've seen her develop, especially this year, is being able to stay in the game, get the fouls, being able to time the ball in the air. I mean, we've seen her get in foul trouble some games, but I think over the course of this year, she's really tried to figure out a better way to stay on the floor and protect the paint.
Key to the free throw line, 3 fouls on Bartley. Key, a 63% free throw shooter. Like so many players, getting the chance to fully experience the NCAA tournament for the first time. Of course, freshman year 2020, no tournament. Last year, the bubble tournament. This year, in front of a loud crowd here at Thompson Bowling Arena, trying to help Tennessee get back to the Sweet 16. Bartley crashes the boards, touched it last. Tennessee basketball.
Well, nobody boxed out Bartley. You see Tamari Key motioning to herself, my bad, but the my bad sometimes aren't good enough if Bartley gets that shot up and you see the pace of the game and how it's playing.
Tipped by Chin. Shot is short and into the hands of Wells. Wells kicks it over to Jones, who buries a 3.
And you saw that happening right when Destiny Wells got the ball. She looked up, she saw Tootie Jones on her right side, stepped in.
Back inside to Key as Tennessee continues to try to attack in the paint.
Well, you got to go back to what you know, and Belmont, what they know is they know how to score the basketball from the three-point line. Tennessee, what they've done well thus far tonight is get the ball in the paint.
Destiny Wells defended by Walker. Wells goes around Key. Jones, who's had a big second half, back to Bartley, open 3. Long rebound, second chance here, and a wide open look for Wells.
That's what they do. Tennessee's on a scramble mode. Nobody's boxing out. Belmont is going after every single offensive board.
Burrell comes up short on the turnaround, and Belmont will slow things down by 1. Fourth quarter, inside of 6 minutes to go. Wells, tough drives, got it! Belmont's in front in the 4th.
Slow and steady, one shot at a time.
Jones on the reach-in gets called for her 4th personal foul.
Well, the threes are falling. You see Destiny Wells, she spot Tootie Jones out of the corner of her eye. First shot. And then, of course, now, shoot. Wells like, okay, I'm stepping up. Next woman up. Belmont doing a great job of finding shooters around the horn. Not only finding them, but knocking the shots down.
Belmont had 4 threes in the first half. They've knocked down 4 here in the second half. The foul on Jones is her 4th. She looked right to the bench. Head coach Bart Brooks telling him, don't take me out of the game. Gave a thumbs up. He pointed to his temple saying, be smart.
Well, they need her down the stretch. I mean, you got 5 minutes in this game. You got to wonder, Alexis Dye able to get that ball to drop, but you got to wonder, with 5 minutes, Tootie Jones is so important in this game.
Wells, that's going to be short, and it's touched by Dye last. And it'll be Belmont basketball. Kaya Wynn is going to come back into the game for Tennessee. Kelly Harper's team was outscored 23-13 in the third quarter. They got off to a good start in the fourth, but Belmont has pushed back. They led 57-56. They're down by a point with the ball approaching 5 minutes to go. Jones needs help. Bartley tries to work on Key.
And she does. Up and under action over Tamari Key.
Belmont back in front. Back to Dye down low. Dye on the drive is smothered up. Sticks with it and muscles it in for two.
Alexis Dye woken up last couple minutes, putting this team on her back, trying to figure out ways to get that ball in the basket.
Wells, Bartley, extra pass, open three, no good. Bartley offensive rebound. Drops it in, and still down on the court is Sarah Puckett, who took a very hard fall. Kelly Harper will lead the charge from the bench to check on Sarah Puckett. Cassie Daly's the athletic trainer for Tennessee. Basket good for Bartley. Just giving her a minute. Catch her breath. Belmont will take the opportunity to huddle up and rest a little bit. 4:06 to go once Sarah Puckett gets help to her feet. We will get to immediate timeout. Sarah is up. She'll take the slow walk to the bench. And that will get us to immediate timeout here in the fourth quarter with Belmont up by one. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship on ESPN is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Against Oregon in the first half here against Tennessee, but it has changed here in the second half. Look at those numbers and that breakdown and how things have flipped for the Bruins here, playing against Tennessee with a spot in the Sweet 16 on the line.
Well, it's been the energy, it's been the focus, and really it's been all about the second chance opportunity. Belmont has come out. They have had 23 points.
Wells got tied up, but a timeout was awarded before the tie-up, and it looks like she took a shot perhaps to the bridge of the nose as she's trying to kind of blink out the tears right now. So it will be Belmont basketball. They have used a timeout with 3:48 to go. Let's take a look at the Capital One rewarding performance. It was a very quiet first half for Tootie Jones. First team all-conference selection in the OVC, had just 1 point. Sophomore has got it going in the second half.
Well, she started lighting it up and I think really started looking for her shot. I don't feel like she did it in the first half. She really kind of delegated and allowed other players to do it, but you see the numbers right there. Numbers do not lie. She came alive in the second half and her team really had needed her to step up.
Bart Brooks calls Tootie Jones our heartbeat. Sophomore from Troy, Alabama, has led this comeback. Jones with 16, Wells leading the way with 19. And it's Belmont basketball, 3:45 to go, and Belmont in front trying to make it to the Sweet 16 for the first time in program history.
Belmont played in the second half. They wanted more. Tennessee has been able to dictate the offense in the first half. But it happened.
Destiny Wells, stop, go, finish. 3-point Belmont lead.
Destiny Wells, she makes it look so easy.
Dye, tough shot in Alexis Day. Dye keeps making tough shots. She's got 18 to pace Tennessee. Three minutes to go in the fourth. Wells on the drive on Wynn, and a foul is called on Kaya Wynn. Let's take it to the previous trip for Belmont and the handle from Destiny Wells.
Destiny Wells makes it look so easy. She knows how to use the screen. She does a nice little hesitation, just enough to move Tamari Key back to her player, goes back under, then of course comes back on this other end. They
Destiny
keep taking the ball into the paint. That is what is working. The inside, the outside.
You can see Destiny listed at 5'6" as she misses the free throw. She was asked about playing against Tamari Key at 6'6". Alexis Dye, Sarah Puckett all above 6 feet. She says, I've been playing against bigger teams and bigger players my whole life. This is nothing new.
So something don't change, huh? They might get bigger, but the one thing you can tell she's worked on consistently is her ball handling skills, because she makes it look so easy.
2-point game. Sarah Puckett back into the game. That's good to see. She works it back out top to Walker, who bobbled it. Dye. Two more for Alexis Dye. She's got 20, and she's got the last 8 for Tennessee, and we're tied at 64. 2.5 to go.
Tennessee going to a little bit of a zone right now.
Bartley inside of Key.
Bartley taking it inside that one-on-one matchup against Key. She's winning it.
Dye tied up by Bartley. Possession arrow will keep it with Tennessee. Great defensive play by the sophomore, Madison Bartley. It's nail-biting time, no question. Dye, not this time, and guess who's in there for the rebound? Destiny Wells.
Of course.
Belmont ball, Belmont lead, 2 minutes to go. Wells tried to go over Key, could not. Then tries to go under and throws it over the top. A key block by Tamari Key. She's #1 on the list all time at Tennessee when it comes to block shots.
And she spaces up, gives her a little bit of space. Wells not able to get it up, and Tamari Key, great job getting that #1 spot.
What a time to take sole possession of first place on the block shot list. Gets a stop, but then Belmont gets a stop on the defensive end.
Key turnovers down the stretch. Belmont taking control of the game. This second half has been all Belmont.
Walker and Wells. And now a foul is called on Jordan Walker. That will be the second team foul on Tennessee, so it will be Belmont ball on the side. Lady Vols with 3 timeouts remaining, Belmont with 2. Jones back to Wells. Thought about it. In trouble. Gets help. And before the shot, a timeout is awarded to Belmont. Nikki Baird was walking the tightrope on the baseline, and Bart Brooks thought, this might be a good time to use a timeout.
Well, I think that's a great call right there, and trying to get a great possession, and you got 12 seconds left. You look at the score right now, you look at what Belmont has been able to do, and I think this is a critical play right now. And I don't know who you go. I don't know if you go Wells or you go Jones. I mean, you got shooters on the outside, so it really is important. I think you drive in, try to get a score in the paint, or then you dish it out.
Betty Weissman can't bear to watch. She started the Belmont program in 1968. She was here Saturday to see their second ever NCAA tournament win after being unable to be there in person last year when Belmont knocked off Gonzaga. Can they pull another upset this time against mighty Tennessee in Knoxville? 12 on the shot clock. Wells. Two players go down. Wells keeps playing. Can't get it to drop. And it's batted out of bounds. Last touch by Bartley. Looks like she may have been hit in the face. Officials inside of a minute now. Looks like they will take the opportunity to go to the monitor just to confirm possession with 49.2 to go.
Well, it's so important to get it right, and that first look might look one way.
Play is under review. Call on the floor is white.
And we'll take a look at it.
Didn't hit Wells out of bounds. There's Key and there's Bartley that comes in to knock it, and then no one touched it on that bounce. I think that's the Bartley arm right there, and the call on the floor is that it's Tennessee basketball. Key thought about it but pulled her hands back just in time.
Well, critical possession down the stretch. Belmont has been all over the board. You would think that when you look at the total rebound that Tennessee would have a big edge, but they only have a +1 on the rebound.
Belmont students on one end, Tennessee students on the other end. Tennessee students just coming back from spring break, first day of classes today. Yeah, that's Bartley, but did it, rolled up maybe on Bartley's arm there too. The question is there enough there to overturn the call on the court? Well, they're going to bring in Kyle Bacon to take a look as well, just to confirm it. Lonnie Spurlock-Welch, Frank Sterator took the first look, and now Kyle Bacon will come in and check.
Well, you gotta like going down the stretch that they're spending this much time to get the possession right. I mean, this is a critical time in the game. There's a lot of time, 49.2 seconds, couple possessions in it. If it's Tennessee's ball, they gotta get in, and obviously they're down by 2. They don't, shooting the 3 is not part of their game anyway. Get the ball in the paint. That's what they started off with. If you're Belmont on the flip side and you get the ball, you get another possession to be able to run something really effective. They're 2 to 3, whatever it takes for them.
Betty's not resting during this review. There's no rest in Betty Weissman. We know that. Belmont was down by 14 with just inside 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. But since that time, Belmont has outscored Tennessee 23-13 in the third quarter total, 20-16 in the fourth quarter. You add it up, it's been a 35-21 first. Well, it's a very long review. Like Tamika mentioned, they want to make sure they get it right with a spot in the Sweet 16 on the line. Tennessee led by 6 at the end of one quarter. They were up by 12 at halftime. Their largest lead in the first half was 13. One more look as they're wrapping up at the monitor. And the call is confirmed.
Call on the floor stands, white ball. The clock was adjusted to 49.3.
So they make the clock adjustment as well, but the call stands. And now, after the long review, once possession was confirmed, the timeout is called here by Tennessee in a 2-point game with Belmont, the number 12 seed, the OVC champs, moving on to the Missouri Valley Conference next season. They've won 13 in a row. A 14th straight win would send them to Wichita to take on Louisville for the second time this season, by the way, because Belmont has played a very challenging schedule. They won at Ole Miss, they lost at Georgia Tech, played UCF, Arkansas, Louisville, all tournament teams. Conley Chin said it has prepared us for games like these and a moment like this against Tennessee here in Knoxville.
Well, you see right there what's at stake for this team, for both teams. Belmont, obviously, like you said, want to take it in.
They look for Key, batted away by Kinney. Out of the scramble, open three is no good. Rebound, Burrell, put back, no. Dye had it for a moment, it's picked up by Kinney. Foul called on Tennessee. That is team foul number 3 on Tennessee, so it's Belmont ball in the backcourt, still with one foul to give.
Well, Tennessee had some good looks right there, had the opportunity to get in, get the ball. Not able to finish.
Yeah, you can see Tennessee's just trying to get the right personnel on the court. Foul on Burrell, her second personal. Kinney holding, throwing it into Bartley under the basket, in big trouble, ripped away, and a jump ball is called. Possession arrow will give it to Belmont.
That's a critical play, yeah. Coach Brooks is going to call timeout, definitely look to advance the ball.
Right, this is their last timeout, but do you think this is a good time to use it to advance it into the front court, even though it leaves you without a timeout?
Well, I think what you do, you just look at the risk right there. I mean, Jordan Walker almost got that steal, almost got a chance to get to the free throw line. Taking the ball out all the way down here, not having that opportunity to advance, I think that's a big deal. So maybe they didn't take the timeout.
So no timeout taken by Belmont. I looked over to Bart Brooks. He was pointing down like advancing the ball, but no, it'll be Belmont inbounding on the baseline. So Belmont still with one timeout left as Kinney gets set to put it into play. Coming back for it is Baird. And Baird is fouled again. One foul to give, so that's team foul number 4. The next foul will put Belmont at the free throw line.
So Tennessee looking for a steal or a foul immediately. Belmont, I think they just have to play it safe, get the ball in. I wouldn't even try to play hot potatoes, just go ahead and get fouled.
Knocked away, and then Bartley and Miles got tangled up. It's out of bounds off of Tennessee, Belmont basketball. Officials are talking it over. It is going to be Belmont basketball. Will they go to the monitor just to confirm the time remaining?
Well, if that's the case, then this is kind of what you get. You kind of get a timeout in the midst of it.
Tennessee in this building. We talked about the history, the tradition at the top of the telecast. So they're back at the monitor here, officiating crew. Call on the floor is that it's Belmont basketball. Right now there's barely any difference between game clock and the shot clock. Shot clock is still on, so technically Belmont would have to get a shot off, but Tennessee can't let it go that deep at this point, down by 2.
Nah, I think Tennessee, same thing. You got to look to steal. If you don't get the steal, you foul immediately, get them to the free throw line.
So it's Bartley. Miles came in to knock it away. Miles got knocked down. The call was that it was off Brooklyn Miles. The officials are going to look to see perhaps if Bartley had contact as well.
Well, you see Bartley's teammates going up to her and just saying, you got to grab the ball. You have to be firm with the ball because they're going to come.
Getting closer to tip-off in Stores between UCF and UConn. UConn's won 11 in a row, a spot in the Sweet 16 on the line in that matchup, as UConn shooting for a 28th straight trip to the Sweet 16. Sellout crowd at Gamble. We will get you to Gamble once we're done here in Knoxville, but still got some work to be done and taken care of here in this building.
Blue ball.
So you hear the call on the floor stands. It is Belmont basketball. So let's reset it. Belmont ball, Belmont lead. Tennessee with a couple timeouts left. Belmont with 1 timeout remaining. Possession arrow does belong to Tennessee. Kinney gets it in. Back to Kinney, across half court. Tennessee tried to get the steal. Instead, it's a foul. And Jamelin Kinney, senior from Van Buren, Arkansas, will head to the free throw line.
I think Tennessee let a little bit too much time go off the clock. You see Tamari Key getting in, and then probably in the game, they're going to try to go down low.
Kinney has not been at the free throw line much this season. She is 5 for 7 this year, 75% in her career. Dye pulls it down, and a timeout is called by Tennessee.
Tennessee got lucky again. Not boxing out on the free throw line. Ended up getting the ball, but you know Belmont is going to try to figure out a way to get their hands on that ball.
Well, Tennessee calls the timeout. They will advance the ball into the front court. Shot clock off, 24 seconds on the game clock. Belmont with 14 fouls, so they don't have any fouls to give. Belmont's got the lead, but Tennessee's got the ball. Do you look inside if you're Tennessee to make the catch?
I do. I think you have to look inside. Tennessee right now shooting 17% from the three-point line, 2 for 12 tonight. I think the biggest place that they've been really successful is in the paint. So 44 points in the paint out of 64 points. You got to look at Tamari Key down low. Do you get another play set up for Alexis Dive, going left or right to the basket to get a score, potentially for the and one? But I definitely think you got to get the ball in the paint.
Each team with the timeout remaining as Belmont comes onto the floor. And here comes Tennessee. Alexis Dye is one to watch. She has her 4th straight double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Tennessee's done a great job, Tamika, all season long of getting on the glass and getting putbacks. Let's see how quickly they go here. Burrell. They look for a 3 for the lead, and they get it! Sarah Puckett for 3!
Plenty of time for Belmont. Wells to Baird through her hands and then lost out of bounds. They will go to the monitor, but for now, it's Tennessee ball. What a clutch shot by Sarah Puckett, the freshman, puts Tennessee in front.
Unbelievable.
Call on the floor is white. Play is under review.
First, we'll look at the three from Puckett, and then we'll see what they're reviewing at the table.
Oh, great pass right there. Sarah Puckett ready to shoot the ball.
So Baird had it and lost it. Did Dye make contact with it before it went out of bounds? You can see the call is Tennessee ball, so they're going to have to see enough to overturn it here.
I think it's like the play before with Tamari Key. Alexis Dye realized, I don't think the ball hit her, but I don't know.
Sarah Puckett with the three-pointer. Remember, she took that hard fall here in the fourth quarter, was helped up, walked off the floor, and then she's the one who delivers the clutch three.
But I feel like we were just in this situation on Saturday watching this Belmont team go against Oregon. They stepped up and made big plays down the stretch on the offensive end, on the defensive end. 12 seconds on the clock, that's a lot of time, especially when you got 3-point leads like you do with this Belmont team.
Sarah Puckett, the freshman from Alabama, all freshman team in the SEC, with the shot of the year for the moment for the Lady Vols. They are still reviewing the play for the moment. This is the moment for Tennessee.
Great draw by Ray Burrell. I mean, you have to defend her when she's going to the basket. She pulls the defender in. Sarah Puckett wide open for the moment. You see the bench going crazy.
Another long review on the out-of-bounds play. They'll discuss it again, certainly to confirm the time that should be on the clock as well. It's Tennessee ball.
Call on the floor stands. White ball. Clock is adjusted to 10.9.
Belmont's done a great job of being able to play defense down the stretch. Tennessee not able to advance the ball without calling a timeout.
So Kyla McGuff will come into the game. You heard 10.9 on the clock. Now another conversation for the officials, perhaps confirming that McGuff could come into the game. She's in there. It's Ray Burrell with it on the baseline for Tennessee. Possession and up by one to Tamari Key. Back for Burrell, and a foul is called. Is it the foul on Bartley? Yeah, I think Bartley on Key was the first contact. So the foul is on Bartley, her fourth, and Tamari Key, a 63% free throw shooter, will head to the line. That's who you would love at the line right now for Belmont. If you're Belmont, you want Tamari Key at the line. Well, Belmont still with a timeout remaining. Clutch first free throw for Tamari Key. Wow. The junior delivers. She may be 63% on the season. She's 5 of 6 today and 2 for 2 inside of 10 seconds to give it a 3-point edge for Tennessee.
And I love the way she walked up to the free throw line, cool, calm, collect, steps up, knocks down those free throws.
Timeout called by Belmont. That's their last timeout. They'll advance it to the front court. Never a doubt on the bench. They knew. They had the confidence as well. Tamari Key was 17 points.
Well, I think right now, Coach Brooks is in there. He's got three-point shooters. Belmont is used to being in this situation. They're coming off the game, double overtime on Saturday against Oregon. I think they draw up a play. All 5 players that are on the floor are three-point shooters, so it'll be interesting to see who they go to. Bartley might be the one if Tamari Key is still in playing defense. We saw them practicing the last couple of days, doing a lot of curl pop action to try to get some wide open threes.
Belmont made 12 threes against Oregon. They've made 8 here today in 30 attempts. Three-point shot is such a big part of what they do on offense. They've got to come up with a good look right now to try to tie it and send it to overtime here in Knoxville. Tennessee with 1 timeout remaining, so if something happens quickly here, Belmont scores, there could be an opportunity for Tennessee to get a final possession, but it starts right here, right now for Belmont, down by 3 with just under 10 seconds to go.
Well, they might do a hammer play. We've seen a lot of that down the stretch for teams in this moment.
Down by 14 in the third. Belmont came back to lead it in the fourth, but Tennessee is up by 3. Belmont basketball needing a 3 to tie. Into the hands of Destiny Wells. Wells with 5. Wells lets it go, and there's a foul away from the ball as Tootie Jones was hit and fouled. It'll be 2 free throws here for Tootie Jones. So Tennessee was not about to let Belmont get a look for 3. They want to send it to the free throw line here. Tamari Key will come back into the game.
Well, this possession, do you look at make the first free throw, miss the second free throw, give your team an opportunity, or do you look at make both free throws, foul? But with no timeouts left, Belmont has no timeouts left.
Jones switches the first. Big second half for Tootie Jones. 16 of her 17 points this half. 3.8 to go. She tries to miss it. She missed the rim though. It'll be Tennessee ball. They'll put time on the clock here, but you have to make contact with the rim on the free throw, and she did not.
So Tennessee will take their last timeout, advance the ball up the floor, 3.8 seconds left on the clock.
So Jones tried to miss the second, but missed by too much. Tennessee basketball with 3.8 to go. Didn't miss by much.
I think sometimes the hardest thing to do as a shooter that's used to making free throws is try to intentionally miss a little bit too much.
Ray Burrell to inbound by the Tennessee bench. Tennessee's up by 2. Harrell holding, finding Key, fouled by Bartley. She's fouled out. Sophomore, 16 points, 6 rebounds. That moment like, me? That's 5. So it's Tamari Key back to the free throw line. Just came up with 2 clutch free throws with inside of 10 seconds to go. She's made her last 5 free throw attempts. Tennessee and Belmont both without a timeout now. And they're back at the monitor. Going to guess this is a clock-related review. Tamari Key will be at the free throw line once we resume play. 3.5 on the clock, so they add 7/10, and here is Key stepping in again. .5 to go. It's going to have to happen quickly for Belmont. Key, 1 of 2. Gives Belmont a chance here to set things in motion. They find Wells. Wells has an opening. Wells across half court. On the way, it's off the mark. And Tennessee back where they belong in the Sweet 16. And the biggest hug is reserved for Sarah Puckett. Her bucket, the difference for Tennessee as the Lady Vols are moving on to the Sweet 16. The season ends for Belmont. What a performance by the Bruins. They gave Tennessee everything the Lady Vols could handle and more. Congratulations to Belmont on a fantastic season. It took a fantastic performance by Tennessee down the stretch to beat Belmont. Kelly Harper joins us right now. Sarah Puckett took a hard fall. She had to be helped up. She's the one who comes through in the clutch for you, Kelly. Take us through the play.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So we were obviously, I don't even know. I don't know.
I love your honesty.
I'm sorry.
Let's back it up one step.
Thank you.
Sweet 16.
Oh my gosh.
The tradition, the history, what it means to get Tennessee back there.
Listen, I'm so excited for this team. You know, we told them before the game, we just wanted to keep playing. You know, we love this team. Absolutely love this team. Love their heart, love their toughness. And they've just been a joy to coach, and I'm glad we get to extend it a little bit longer.
You know, Coach, you look at down the stretch, I mean, you guys had them down by 14. They fought back. They crawled. They scratched. They did everything. Down the stretch, though, you guys came up. Tamari Key stepped to the line, knocked down those free throws. How proud are you of her?
Oh, that's tremendous effort on her part, mentally, physically. You know, getting in the gym pays off, and obviously she hit some big ones down the stretch. She was a go-to for us there in the second half, and proud of her. And obviously our team had to execute defensively the last however many seconds that took. I'm not real sure at this point.
The only thing you got to worry about now is you've had some great locker room celebrations this year. This one's going to be one to remember.
This one's going to be the best one of all.
You go enjoy it, Kelly.
All right, thank you guys.
Kelly Harper's Tennessee Lady Vols with a 70-67 win. They're heading to the Sweet 16.
For Tamika Catchings and our crew, producer Andy Bach, director Michael Ireland, I am Eric Freed. Thanks for being with us. Now to Stores, UCF, and UConn.